Why will driving in France completely change your business? By the way, if you like videos on how to grow your customer list and build a real brand, then subscribe to my channel below as I have new videos each week.
It's the Morning Marketing Machine, here to grow your e-commerce business with proven marketing strategies and tactics, so you can run your business with machine-like precision. My name is Douglas Levin. Let's dive in.
Hi, my name is Douglas Levin, and I built a 20,000 person messenger list ahead of the launch of our first product, which led to 20,000 in monthly sales within our first 3 months of launch. I also have a link to a free cheat sheet below in the description with tips on how to take control over your e-commerce income. Trying to compete in a really tough industry, all you think is you can advertise and spend money, but you're just not seeing the results. But you see one brand that seems to get all the sales and they don't seem much better than you are. So why are they the one that's getting the sales and you're stuck just spending thousands of dollars for scraps? What if there was a better way to do it? A way that allowed you to stand out, not having to be just like everyone else in your niche? Well, there is, and that's what I'm talking about today. Purple Cow is a book by Seth Godin. He's one of the most famous marketers on the planet. And the reason why is because he looks at marketing from a different perspective than most. And that's on full display in Purple Cow. The book starts with him talking about how he was driving with his family in France and he saw a bunch of cows. So at first, they were mesmerized by all the cows. But after 20 minutes of driving and seeing cow after cow, what once was amazing to them is now common, or as he puts it, boring. So what if there was a purple cow? That would be interesting according to him, at least for a little while. That's the idea behind Purple Cow. It analyzes how to be remarkable and stand out from the competition. Seth next talks about the history of marketing, specifically the TV industrial complex, as he puts it. So for 50 years, the process was to find a large market that's growing, but not yet dominated, to build a factory, to buy lots of TV ads, and then these ads will lead to retail distribution, to sales, those sales will lead to profits, and the company will use those profits to buy more ads. So you're kind of creating this cycle. And customers would also see seen on TV and they thought it meant quality. But the old rule, as he puts it, was to create a safe, ordinary product and combine them with great marketing. But the new rule that he talks about in Purple Cow is to create remarkable products that the right people will seek out. So that TV industrial complex, it died, but people are still hemorrhaging money with that thinking that that's the best way to do it. To further illustrate his point, Seth references how we as a society are even grown. So we are taught from a really young age to not stand out, that it's the safe thing to do. If you're remarkable, some people won't like you. So standing out is actually frowned upon. There's criticism that comes with those who stand out. We also assume that that criticism will lead to failure and that being noticed is just a bad thing. But ultimately with that thought process, it ultimately leads to failure. What's great though is that we're not going to be like that. We will have less competition because everyone else is scared of standing out. So we can be that purple cow. So we can be remarkable. And if you're liking any of this, then make sure to leave a like below. Seth also gives an example of a brand that stood out in what they did. This one, Schindler Elevator, was dealing with elevators, right? So they created their own purple cow. So every ride stopped at every stop, which was a hassle for everyone that was involved. But Schindler ended up changing all that. Now you key in your floor on a centralized control panel, and this elevator tells you which elevator will take you to your floor. So with this pre-sort, every elevator is an express. That's the way that Seth put it. So he then goes on to gives a statement which completely changes the way to attack the problem. And this is what I really loved about it too, is he said, don't try and create better product for users and their standard behavior. Experiment with changing their behavior to make the product work dramatically better. So another example that he ends up giving is the idea of digital cameras and how they became a purple cow. They did this by offering convenience and price, which was an advantage over the film cameras. So by creating a purple cow that can be done by creating different combinations and bringing different things to your niche that are not available, you can be remarkable and you can stand out. From a marketing perspective, the next thing that Seth talks about is how to attract people to your purple cow. How you want to design your product with the purple cow in mind, not just marketing after you've done it. So go after the early adopters that are sneezers, as Seth calls them. He references a book called Crossing the Chasm, where they talk about there's 4 different levels of the customer's life cycle. The first being the early adopters and the last part being the laggards, like the last people to kind of catch on to the fad. You want to target those early adopters, but not just early adopters. You want to target the segment within them that loves to talk about those products. So that's going to lead to virality. So those are the sneezers, right? They're going to create an idea of virus that can turn your purple cow into a successful and profitable product. Seth also talks about the life cycle of a product for a purple cow and what to do. He's saying, number one, that you want to get permission from people you've impressed the first time. So you don't want to spam them, but you want to reach out to them next time that you might have a purple cow. Number two, you want to work with those sneezers in that group, so it will be easier for you to cross the chasm, right? And then number three, once you've crossed that line from remarkable to profitable, then that's when you want to have a different team that's just going to milk it. So this is what he calls a downward trend. And so you want to milk it for all it's worth so you can make as much money as possible, because at that point it's kind of done. And then lastly, you want to reinvest and do it again with a vengeance, as he says, launch another purple cow to that same audience. But you're going to probably fail, and fail again, as he says. So assume that what wasn't remarkable last time won't work. So you have to keep testing until you find something that's going to work. Because once you've crossed that line from remarkable to profitable, it's time to just have somebody else deal with it and just make your money. Purple Cow is an amazing book because it comes at marketing in a completely different direction than most do. You've likely heard to differentiate your product. I know you have from me, right? But not in this manner. I'd recommend anyone looking to understand marketing and how to stand out in your niche will read Purple Cow, then read it again, then go on and implement what you've read. It's the only way it will sink in and that you're going to make progress in your business, because there's nothing stopping you from being that purple cow and completely reinventing your niche. If you're looking for more tips on how to take control over your e-commerce income, then click the link below in the description for a free cheat sheet. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more tips on how to grow your list and build a real brand. All right, bye.